like
Dude, did you know Sly from Sly and the Family Stone died?
Yes, I did.
I found that out today.
Just today?
Yeah.
He died earlier in the week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, speaking of which, this Oh Steve comes to us from Derek Thomas, Sly Stone. This Oh Steve is brought to you by the legendary Sly Stone, who passed away on June 9th, 2025. May he rest in peace. And I had to go look at this on YouTube real quick because I didn't know the rhythm of it. Looking at the devil, don't, grinning at his gun, don't, fingers starting shaking, don't. I say, I begin to run, don't. Bullets start chasing, don't. I begin to stop, don't. We begin to wrestle, don't. I wanna thank you for letting me be myself, oh Steve.
Spears and Steinberg.
You know what the it is?
Aries and Andy, Jew and the Jerk.
You know it's time to get this work.
The real raw, gutter, uncut, cold. No political corrections.
Always sleep.
Being awoke. We discuss politics and jokes.
Cry, we lit.
There's levels to this before you was on your mama.
Aries Spears don't give a fuck.
We talk about race a lot, racism. Much love to my loyal bag holders.
Rollers, loaders.
We got them in the folders.
The whole world on our shoulders.
Spears and Steinberg.
Yeah.
That was nice, right?
That was really nice.
Yeah.
And I like it because we hadn't given any love to Sly. And we did talk about him. It was nice. We did a podcast after we watched his doc.
You know, somebody I read in the YouTube comments one time when we did an Oh Steve said, whoever y'all got to do the Oh Steve's, meaning Steve, y'all need to tell him to get on his job because no music played. They don't play for the live, what you're seeing on YouTube. That's fixed up in post. So for the people that listen on the streaming platforms, they get the music. Here you get in the raw.
Yeah, it's just the raw. It's the uncut. This is why you get all this stuff that when we up,
it stays up.
Yeah, it's in there. You get to hear all of our cussing and our Aries farting.
Yeah. I don't want to just keep discrediting people as being stupid, but this is why sometimes I stress, listen from the beginning, because when you listen from the beginning, you get all this. It grows with you. You grow with us.
Not everybody's going to listen from the beginning. They're going to miss some things. They're going to miss some things, and we have to tell them. And it's not their fault. It's not their fault.
All right.
Well, if people aren't listening from the beginning, maybe you should explain to them what Oh Steve is.
I'm not going to do that. Come on, man. McDonald's doesn't owe you an explanation as to how they make their shit.
Joel B. pays for sausage, cheese pickles on
I'm
his
just saying,
sesame seed bun.
I would kind of like to know myself.
He's never
You
listened.
got on late.
Yeah, he never listened to that.
I got to go back to the beginning.
Yeah. Beth Spies, appreciation. Hey, oh, I forgot to put on me glasses.
Uh-oh. What did someone say? It looked like what? When you wear your glasses?
They're going to pop off my face.
I got to get you some real...
Sam Rothsteins.
Yeah.
A&A, you guys are the best. Thank you for the shout out. The woman that came with me is my sister-in-law. I love you guys so much. Just for some context, when I came across your podcast, I wasn't in a good place mentally. There were days I couldn't get out of bed, but knew I had to go to work because I needed money to survive. After watching a couple of episodes, it put a smile on my face and I started to laugh again. I look forward to the pod each week. When I wrote my first email, I never thought it would make it on the pod. Then I see you guys were coming to Montreal. I knew I wanted to give you guys something to show my appreciation because I don't know where I would be today if I didn't stumble upon the pod. I believe that everything happens for a reason, and I will have your backs for life. Much love, Beth. P.S. Mark, thank you for taking a lot of pictures, and I'll think about bringing Mark a pink Speedo. LOL. Listen, sweetie, if you ever get in a
36
place,
size waist.
if you ever get in a place where you hard up for money again, all you got to do is put the to work, and the salt and pepper pimps will smack that ass before you go out in them streets. I hit the left cheek, psst, and hit the right cheek, psst, and we will spicy that big white meat of yours so you can get that money for the daddies.
Well seasoned.
Yeah. Matter of fact, when we smack your ass so hard, it's going to say on there, well seasoned. We should both brand our palms. I get well and you get seasoned. So when we smack, it says it on them.
Maybe that's a
well
t-shirt.
seasoned. That could be.
Yeah.
That way other pimps know, oh, I can't recruit that. She worked for Salt and Pepper. How you know that? Her face say well seasoned.
That should be our if we ever do a production company. Well seasoned.
Well seasoned productions. I like it.
Yeah.
Movies smack the out you. Yo, she might bring you to Speedo now that you've given out your waist. You're giving out your waist size
Yeah, please do. I'll wear it on stage.
with nothing else.
Nothing else.
If you do that, Mark, oh man.
Would you let him record you for a full show just wearing a Speedo?
Hell yeah.
But you can't acknowledge it.
Never.
Never.
That's the funniest part about it.
I believe he would do it too.
I'd do it.
Yeah, yes.
This Noah Washington. Andy and his comics. Hey, Aries, Andy, and Mark. Was listening to the latest episode, and you guys mentioned how Andy is building up a collection of old comics. And I just wanted to say, as a comic reader, to guys that are always on the road and like the movies, I think you should all start reading comics in your free time, and to download the Marvel Unlimited app on your iPads.
Yep.
I used to love all the Marvel movies, and then they started to get boring. So about 4 years ago, I decided to be an idiot and read all the Marvel comics all the way from the beginning, and I'm only up to 2011. So I still have a long way to go. Even though not all of them are great, there's still plenty of stories that are way better than anything the movies have done, and this has kind of soured me on the movies for missing out on so much and messing up the little things that didn't need to be changed. I'm not going to suggest you guys do this considering you're getting up there in age and I'm still young and have plenty of time to waste. I do have some suggestions on some good places to start. There's plenty of good comics that came out before the 2000s, but it wasn't till that era that you start to feel world building in a way you see in the movies. For example, what happens in one comic can have an effect on other comics or the universe as a whole, and the other characters will reference it and more often than they would have in the comics from the 60s and 90s. So if you're to read any comics, read anything by Brian Michael Bendis and start from Elias, Jessica Jones, and Luke Cage and the Daredevil comics he wrote in the early 2000s to the New Avengers in 2005, and you'll understand that those are the starting points to plenty of bigger storylines like Civil War, Secret Invasion, the World War Hulk, and Andy, I also recall you mentioning liking Get Shorty, and there's a limited series that follows one of Craven's sons wanting to become a director, and it's pretty much called The Weinstein's Rapist, about 15 years before they got Me Too'd, while also having an interesting story. If I had any other quick suggestions, I'd say most of Peter David's comics, like the 90s Hulks, where he explores the psychology of Bruce Banner and how it affects how he hulks out, and also check out his X Factor comics, which were good in the 90s, but didn't become really good until they got him back on the series in 2005, where it explores the lives of mutants running a detective agency. I can tell this person's a geek. Aries, I suggest you read a limited series from 2006 that explores the relationship between the god Aries and his son as he tries to raise him away from all the god stuff in modern society. Sorry for the long email. I accept your apology. I just got happy to hear Andy talk about comics and just figured I'd give some suggestions. P.S. I like Mark, and I think he's a good addition to the podcast when it comes to looking things up for you guys, even though he do be saying some dumbass shit. But it's funny to hear Andy get on his ass. So keep up the good work, fellas.
The whole email was full of some dumbass.
Actually, it was a very interesting email, and
It was interesting for you.
No, I do like his take on some of it, but there's some old episodes like this new Fantastic Four that's coming out. I don't know, I haven't seen it. Obviously, it hasn't come out yet, but I do understand that it's based actually on Fantastic Four 48, 49, and 50, which I just bought, which I'm excited about, which is the Galactus and Silver Surfer origin. So that's something that I thought was kind of cool. Yes, I agree with you. Some of the 2000 stuff is really good. The Civil War series in there is really good. But my son is the one who's getting me back in this, so I'm kind of listening to him. He just got me on Ultimate Batman, and so that's what I just got them. I'm going to read them this week when I get back home.
You know, there was a point in time where you could have caught me, but that time has passed now. I can't envision myself cracking up a comic book and with true passion invest in page to page.
It's the art. It's the story.
Eh.
No, it's better. You know, you do have to. I'm going to tell you, it connected with me and the youthful me that made me a little happy. And I'm in, and I'm gonna stay in. And like the Ultimate Batman is a good one because it's new, and so I'm starting to crack in on some of the new stuff again. I don't want to have like 10 series that I'm trying to keep up with. I want 2 or 3 series that I'm into. I'll see what those are going to be.
Now with the technology we have, the CGI, now that I've seen action, at live action, I can't look at a magazine.
Listen, if you would have been up in the 80s on Iron Man and looked at Tony Stark in the 80s, a lot of what he's talking about now, I don't know everything that he's talking about as far as like the little changes and things, but Iron Man in the 80s, dude, I'm telling you, it was a different cat. He was going to rehab. He had a piece out from being Iron Man for a while because he was going through all this trauma. The storylines in comic books can get really good.
But see, that's what I mean. There was a point in time when but even as a kid, it never did anything for me. I might have picked the comic up because I said, looked at the superhero, but I'm just really looking at the pictures. To sit and read and invest in a story, I didn't give a shit.
No, the stories are there, man. The X-Men, when the new X-Men that came out, and now we have the X-Men now. I can't even keep up with them because there's so many variant series, and there's a lot more to it than it was when I was like a comic book kid. These series are pretty. It's pretty incredible. And looking at the artwork, man, I used to think the artwork that I saw was good. This artwork is, it's nice. Like I want to. I don't know how deep I'm going to go, but there's sometimes some of the artists that I'm looking at that I want to buy like original artwork from. It's really amazing. I love it. The Ultimate Batman, you can get variant covers. It's good, man. It really is. I'm geeking out a little bit, but my son really got me into it. And I'm loving it.
Yeah. Joe King, Salt and Pepper. Salutations, y'all. Anthony and one of last week's emailers. Pleasure to make acquaintance, cousin. It mystifies the diarrhea out of me. Why Afro folks consistently shackle step their ass into a czar Vlad's peasant chair when Vlad consistently disputes his true colors. I think this is that likes to get super descriptive. Hey, you know what, Mark? I'm going to send you this email because I want you to read it. I'm telling you, man, these long...
If the N-word's in there, does he have to read it out loud?
Yes, and you know he will.
Well, I was going to say, that the shit's edited on YouTube, right? You say it's raw, but there's no swear words.
Well, yeah, they
so
have
even
to.
if I did say it, nobody would know.
Oh, they take out all the swear
You know
words
what
on
I'm talking
YouTube?
about?
They take out all the swear words on YouTube? I didn't think they did.
I think they do.
Oh, that kind of sucks. I didn't even realize it.
Yeah, I just sent it to you. Robert Vaughters, Black Mental Awareness. Peace King, day one listener, a few times emailer. I saw you at Hartford Funny Bone in Connecticut. Your show is still top 3 in Connecticut I've ever seen. Question of the day for you. We as black men deal with so much stress from baby mothers, kids, fake friends, the people we love, and so on. How have you ever been in a period of depression? I'm in it right now. Real talk. Black Mental Awareness Month. Black Mental Awareness Month. Plus Juneteenth, but all I see is the color flag get more support and love. Can you bring awareness with a story from your trails? P.S. Joke my wife told me. Do you remember when we were kids and had to go to the DARE program to keep kids drugs free? In 2025, they renamed it to, yes, you guessed it, DARE ELGPQ. Thought it was funny. Much love, peace, and blessings. Swerve.
Did they?
No, he said it was a joke.
Oh.
You laughed, right?
I was like, that sounds ridiculous.
You didn't laugh, did you, Andy? No. Yeah, I didn't laugh. Tell your wife, stop telling jokes. I get depressed. But I don't know that my level of depression is real depression. Like there's some people that get so depressed they have to be put on like what, Prozac or medicine.
Some people get depressed where they
I don't.
That's to pull them out of their depression.
Yeah, you know what pulls me out of depression?
Pussy.
There you go.
Yeah, I knew. Yeah.
Man, let me get laid. Something about when I come, I shoot out whatever's bothering me.
Ice Cube.
That would be weird. What if when I come, my dick just went, yay, yay? But yeah, I get depressed sometimes, man, you know, trying to figure this life thing out, which makes no sense to me.
If you don't get depressed, that means you're living in depression, though, doesn't it?
What do you mean?
If you don't feel like you're ever depressed, then you're living in depression.
Is that one of those white psychological tricks?
No, what I'm saying is if you don't feel depression, that means that you have. I think that everybody has to feel depression.
Do you?
Yeah. I think that we all go through some stages of depression. If you're not feeling any depression, if you don't ever feel like you're depressed, that means that your life is living in a depressed state.
But that level of depression, like that makes somebody kill themselves, like
that's
Robin Williams.
That's different. That's different. That's completely. That's an obsessive amount of depression where you can't get out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
Clinical depression.
Clinical depression. That's a nice word.
Yeah.
I don't know why they call it clinical. They should call it mortuary depression.
You want me to read Joe King? Ooh. Or are you going to give a tale?
Save it for towards the end. I'm trying to knock out as many short ones before we have to end the movie.
Oh, this one's only 5 paragraphs.
The one I sent you?
That if Aries was a rock star, that would have been a great way for him to go out. Is there any girls under 5'3"? I'm trying to get the short ones out of here.
D-Matic. Rate the horror characters. What's up, Aries, Andy, and Cool Hand Mark? I like that. Like Cool Hand Luke.
Yeah.
But let's have some fun. Please rate these horror characters from 1 to 10 based on the movie franchise. Pennywise.
You know what? I don't know that I put it up high, but it does scare the shit out of me, actually.
So the characters, not the movies.
Are we doing the movie or the
He
character?
said rate these horror characters.
Pennywise freaks me out a little bit.
So on a scale of 1 to 10.
I don't know yet, but keep going.
Freddy Krueger.
Man, if he wasn't so funny, I mean, he's intentionally funny.
Yeah.
I would probably put him up higher.
Michael Myers.
Yeah, that one's up there.
Give me the number.
I don't know. 1 to 10. I don't know. I'm going to put him at a 4. Michael Myers, I'm going to put a 4.
And what would you put Krueger?
I'm going to put him at a 7, only because he's funny. He's scary. He's probably super scary to me.
Yeah.
But the fact that he tells jokes kind of takes me out of that. And they did funny things with him, like with his fingers and stuff like that. Pennywise, I think is going to end up higher. I'm going to leave him off to the side.
I didn't see Pennywise until I was an adult, but I could tell that if I saw that as a kid, that would scare the shit out of me.
It is really because it's so subtly frightening.
Yeah.
And life is subtly frightening.
Yes. Jason Voorhees.
I don't know. Where do you put that? You're not even giving me your numbers.
Oh, Pennywise, 6. Krueger, 6. Mike Myers to me is like 8.
Oh, we're not ready to put this 1 to 10. It was just
just pick one.
Oh, okay.
Jason Voorhees. And listen, man, my thing was I was such a Freddy dude that I felt like it was Freddy versus Jason. And like how I'm like loyal to my PlayStation. Like I'm PlayStation over Xbox every day. So Krueger over Jason. But so I really didn't get into the Friday the 13th. But I give him a 7. Now this was terrifying to me. Leatherface.
Yeah, but it was so corny though.
Dude, I saw that original one when I was a kid.
Yeah, but it was
traumatized.
But it was so corny when he's standing there with the chains on. He's like,
what age were you when you saw that?
I was probably 20.
Oh, so that
No, maybe I was 18.
Okay, so you was past being spooked.
It just looked a little corny to me. I wasn't as afraid by that. So I'd probably put him low, like 7.
Ghostface. That's like a 2.
Yeah.
This is another low one. Chucky.
Yeah, Chucky didn't scare you. It was a little doll. But I mean,
Right.
but let me ask you this question: if you're ever late at night and did
I play with dolls?
No, like my sister had some dolls, and so like when I'd walk by those dolls after I saw Chucky, like at night,
Right.
Still was a little like you
For
were
me,
looking.
it was the opposite. I traumatized my sister because she'd see me her dolls. I had that Barbie's. I had them legs pinned, nigga. Art the Clown,
I don't know who Art the Clown is.
Terrifier.
I don't know that
How
one.
about Leprechaun?
Leprechaun was funny to me.
Silly.
Yeah.
That's a 1. And the last one is John Kramer Saw. Is that the? You want to play a game?
Yeah.
Oh, that ain't. Or was that the? No, that's the thing that rides the bike. He must be talking about the actual killer.
The killer, yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. I stopped watching the Saw movies after 2 because some of them killings was too grotesque.
The killing, I told the one that had me, and it wasn't even the grossest one. It was just when they had to jump into all the syringes, and I have fear of needles.
Right. I think I can't remember which one it was, but there was one where this device went in somebody's mouth, and it literally ripped the top of the head from the bottom of the jaw. I can't do that.
No.
All right.
Did you get scared though? The scary movies. I mean, did you used to get scared?
When I was a kid.
When I was 10, I think up until I was 10. 10. No, I wasn't living there. Let's see. Yeah, it's probably 9 and 10. 9 and 10, I could get scared. My dad, I saw the scary movie and I was scared.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a suspense movies really got me scared. And there's this one, I don't know how they killed, but it was a woman who did knitting, and the killer was out, and then you come back into the room and she had her knitting needles through her neck. And I got so scared over this movie. My dad goes, go get my cigarettes. They're in my car.
He made you go outside?
Yeah, and I go, nah. And I was like, I was starting to like almost cry, and I was like, no, I don't want to go. And then he goes, if you don't go get my cigarettes, I'm going to give you a spanking. And I remember going, if I take the spanking, do I have to go get the cigarettes?
What a Jew. He negotiated your ass out of an ass
I
whooping.
wanted to make sure, and he said, yes, you still get the beating. So I had to go out there. And I remember that I went out there, and I was singing a song, because I thought, well, if I stop singing, my mom will know that I'm dead. They came and killed me. That's how I got through it.
I know I probably told this story on the podcast, but when I was living in New York at 433 West 34th Street, apartment 12B, probably 2 long blocks was a delicatessen. And my father would get his Haagen-Dazs ice cream from there. And it was Christmas morning, and he wanted me to go get him a pint of ice cream. And I'm a kid, so I don't want to get to these toys, nigga. I don't want to leave the house. So I went downstairs, and I just went around the corner and probably stayed out there 8 minutes. And then I came back upstairs and went, they didn't have no ice cream, just so I could get back to the toys. And my father was like, that's got to be. So he said, come with me. So we both walked to the spot. And when he saw all the vanilla ice cream, he beat my ass on Christmas morning.
And did he get himself some ice cream?
Yeah. We got back home and he whooped my ass on Christmas morning. And I just thought, you selfish fat. Like, one, how you gonna make your kid go get you ice cream on his day? And then you know you're gonna whoop my ass. Get 2 pints, nigga. So after the beating, I could get back to my toys and enjoy ice cream. But your fat, selfish ass didn't even want to let your kid enjoy Haagen-Dazs ice cream, and you took me away from my toys, and you whooped my ass.
I think this is secretly why you like Haagen-Dazs ice cream to this day.
Oh, no, I had been on Haagen-Dazs before then. When my father got Fat Man snacks, we did get some. And the moment I tasted Haagen-Dazs, it was over.
That was it.
It was a wrap. Tony McDowell, Mark MVP. Somebody's calling you the MVP. nigga.
You read that. I got
Right.
Is this?
I'll be right back.
You taking a shit?
Yeah, I got a couple on my nose.
Oh, Mark, give me a shirt. What's up, guys? Recently, I feel like the pod has been growing. I love to see the numbers up. Still love to hate Andy. He's like a Sour Patch Kid. You want to spit out as soon as you try, it gets sweet again. Do you hear this?
I'm doing it on purpose because of that email.
Pulling a Louis Armstrong while I'm reading. But yeah, when it comes to him and Mark, I'm on Mark's side. I don't think Mark cuts Andy off as much as he thinks. Sometimes Mark has good points and Andy does not know where to go, so he resorts to anger. I literally went back and watched.
Is that anger and emotion?
I literally
An emotional emotion?
I literally went back and watched arguments between them. Andy isn't even talking. As soon as Mark has a point, he gets upset. I would love to see and he debate. I'd love to see and he debates somebody who could hand him his ass. But yeah, love the pod. Like I said, pretty much watch every week. Keep up the good work, guys. Side note, I'm from Jacksonville, Florida. If you guys have been there, what do you think about it? Yeah, when we go to Jacksonville, we perform at the Comedy Zone. That's inside that hotel. Mark, you've never been there, right?
Never.
Jet.
You think he would love the buffet, the crab buffet? You like crab?
I love crab.
Oh, then you would.
Love it. Yeah. I just wanted to tell this. Who was
Tony
it?
McDowell.
I'm in a glass case of emotion. It's from Anchorman. Go back and listen to our since you went back. Why don't you go back and correct me where I was wrong with Mark? And Mark likes I don't remember things, and so if I'm saying something, I'm trying to put these little things together. Mark interrupts me. That's why I lose my because I don't remember anything. I don't remember them. I'll lose my place, and he knows that, and he loves to do it to me.
Kind of seem like you're losing your right now, and I'm not.
No, I'm in a glass case of emotion.
Karate Mouse. Shorter email, I promise. Yo, ANA, hope you all are doing well. I was writing because I wanted to know what you guys think of the new Lizzo. Would you smash now or you still cool? To be honest, she was always cute in the face. I totally agree with that. And I don't have a problem with big women at all. I'd rather hear that thing go plop plop than go chop chop. You feel me? I don't know what's the difference. But my thing with Lizzo was I just had a problem with the way that she put herself and body out there like that. I get the whole confidence, but I felt like, oh, I got something to mention about that. But I felt it was forced, and she kind of made it her brand about going over the top and always having to show her body. Like really, at a basketball game where children are at, it's like her brand is to beat the audience to the punchline first or some I don't know. I just never really cared for how she carries herself, and it sucks because she is actually talented. But I guess everyone needs a gimmick. These days, do you think she will continue to show off her body more now that she is doing something about it, or do you think she will be more reserved this time around? Also, do you think the South Park joke and the public's opinion about her was the reason why she made the change? I'll take credit for that. P.S. A good man food movie, if you haven't seen it yet, is called Hardcore Henry. The movie is mostly shot in first-person view, like in a video game, and the stunts are insane as check it out if you guys haven't seen it yet. I'm sure y'all would like it. Peace out. Here's a trailer. Karate Mouse. Let me tell you something, man. I have confidence, but I'm not particularly happy at my skin. And the thing with Lizzo, which shows to be the case, and a lot of fat people don't want to admit this because of pride. Who the likes being fat? It's unhealthy, and you look like naked. And if you're a woman, which, unfairly for women, beauty is predicated on thin. No fat woman wants to really be fat.
Watch the word thin, though. What do you mean by thin?
I mean, properly proportioned.
Okay.
Black thin or white thin?
There is a difference there.
Oh, there is.
But listen, whether it's black thin or white thin, we know what fat is.
Yeah.
So no woman wants that. And any woman, I don't care how much confidence she has, that tries to go, look at me, I'm gorgeous in my skin. She's lying.
I think
she's lying.
I think the message is self-love.
That's some sugar-coated like, that's like third place trophy.
Yeah, but you can still love yourself and know you're on a journey to lose weight or what. Like,
as long as you're on the journey. But like, these people that act like the journey, this is me, love me, take me, I'm the get the out of here.
Loving yourself doesn't have to do anything to do with your weight.
I will say I like that, at least like with Lizzo and like with like hip hop, like there's a variation of like, why isn't there a big fat black that's out there crushing it? Oh, great, we got one, Lizzo, awesome. Like, I like seeing the variation of different body types and stuff like that. And it's also kind of like, I'm not gonna say it's a gimmick, but it probably kind of helped her. kind of
There's
with their
but
character.
you said loving yourself. Loving yourself, you can love yourself as a big person, but being healthy is different.
Go to Instagram and pull up Dank Demos, DankDemoss.
Who
This is the girl that
the Uber problem?
the Uber problem.
Yeah, no.
I want you to see this one particular video.
Okay. But I don't understand with loving yourself and your weight. You want to be healthy. There is a difference between being thin though and comfortable weight. I believe that there's women who have a little extra weight, but they're comfortable and they're still healthy.
name?
Dank Demos, DANK Demos, DEMOSS.
But just because you're big and maybe overweight doesn't mean you don't love yourself still. You just don't love necessarily the weight that you're at.
Now this is where I might have felt a little bad, but like I saw one of her posts. Yeah, keep scrolling down. Keep scrolling down. Keep going. Keep going.
Well, that one right there.
No. There's a particular one I want you to get to.
Okay.
Keep going. Keep going. On the far left, right there. Right. Now don't play it yet. So I wrote, I forget what exactly it is that I wrote.
Did you write to her?
I said something on her page.
Okay.
And she replied, thanks. And I didn't even say anything mean. I just said, God, there's no way that's not unhealthy. And no matter what anybody says, she acts like, oh, big deal. She laughs it off. But now play this for a second.
Do you got the remote?
No, you don't need the sound. Look at this. Look. That's what I mean when I say gyro meat. Now stop it. Dude, you know how much I say I hate using airplane bathrooms other than to piss. But I don't know what it was. I was on the flight here. It's like something just clicked. I ate really late the last night.
Wasn't a click.
Well, listen, something broke loose. But I ate really heavy the night before. I probably got 3 hours of sleep. I had to get up to catch a 3 o'clock flight. I felt like garbage. So I'm on the plane and I had to go from LA to Denver, Denver to here. 10 minutes before we got ready to land, where they tell you can't get up. I woke up because my stomach went, Hurricane Katrina, the dam is breaking. I had to shit, nigga. So I went into the bathroom. I did my business, but I'm like, yo, this thing is so small. There's no way
I know.
she could get her ass in a bathroom in the plane and take a shit and wipe her ass properly. There's no way. Wiping your ass. There's no way she fits in that bathroom.
Well,
How do you not just go, okay, I have to make a change?
no. They want.
You think she flies a lot?
No, they want society to change. There was a video online about, you could try to pull it up. There was about a video about big women wanting them to change the airplane seats.
I've seen that.
We all have to fly on an airplane.
But at least they can get an extender.
Yeah, they could get the extender, and but technically they're supposed to buy 2 seats.
Not this. Can't just get an extender.
No, that's not an extender.
And let me tell you, I was on a plane.
That looks like soft serve melting.
Look, dude, I was on a plane, and the guy in front of me, sitting in first class, mind you, which are bigger seats, needed an extender. And as he was struggling, all the meat was busting out the sardine can from the sides. And I just went, when people say I'm fat, I know I'm not in shape, but come on, man, that's fat. Needing an extender, asking for society to make adjustments, needing to buy 2 seats, that's fat.
That's morbidly fat.
That's obese.
Yeah, that's when or obese is
That's
only
morbidly obese.
Yeah, because
we're all probably obese.
Obese is 25 pounds over what your body weight should be.
So what's morbidly? More than that?
It's like when you're morbidly, like you're ready to, like your heart could stop.
Jesus.
But when you get that big, those are health concerns. Those are health concerns.
And the part that kills me, though, I'm not saying that when you're that big, you should like just wallow in a corner and die of shame. But to have, and when I say, oh, that's what I said. I went, the confidence is insane. No, it's not on there.
Okay.
But dude, she parades herself in these outfits where all of that meat is hanging out, and she's like, I'm sexy. Look at me. I'm the. Are you serious?
like, listen,
Well, that's a black thing right there. White women don't do that as
White
much.
women very much do that. I would say more the needle moves towards the black side. But white women do it too.
Thing with this is when you're posting it on social
What are you
media and
laughing at?
shit,
What are you laughing at?
like they're
What happened?
Because you go, white women do it too. Yeah, and they date black guys. It's the white women that date black guys.
is when you're posting it on social media and like getting like she's getting probably I mean, is this like a big person?
There's some people that
Well,
love it.
she's a rapper.
There are people that love it. There are people that are. That's the fetish.
That's a fetish,
It's a
dude.
fetish. But
That's a
but
fetish.
you find your fetish. You know, this isn't the old days where you lived in. We're in Omaha. If you grew up in Omaha and you lived in Omaha, you were stuck with the people in Omaha, whether they liked you or how they felt about you. We go online now. We got the whole world. Hey, who likes fat? And then they go
Me.
on. Hey, me. And then they have an audience that's captivated
you
and loves them.
gotta be kidding.
But it's okay. This is why I'm going to say
AI
it's
can't take that job away.
This is why I'm going to say it's unhealthy, and I mean this seriously. Have you ever seen someone that's more like I'm the only one I can do this with right now off the top of my head is the pedophile guy. What's it from Subway?
Jared.
Let's use Jared because he's somebody that everybody knows for one reason or another. When he was so big and you saw those big pants, that's one thing, and you see the pants and you see all that. But you got to imagine and just do this in your head. Do the math for yourself in your head on this. As he shrinks, as he gets smaller, then you see him, and he's still not tiny, but he loses all that weight, and you see these big jeans. That heart stays the same size. That heart had to pump blood, and as he walked, as he moved, as he carried himself, that heart was the same. When he got small, that heart was the same size it was when he was huge, and it has to do all that work, pump all that blood, go all the way through that body, work itself. You know what kind of stress that's putting on your heart? Think about that.
So when you lose the weight, it doesn't.
Your heart stays the same
Really?
size the whole time. The fat builds around your heart, but your heart can only get so big. Your bones didn't get bigger. Your heart, your organs all stayed the same. They might be expanded a little bit because they're what's it called? They're irritated and they enlarge a little bit. But your heart doesn't get bigger. It's the same size heart. Think about how much stress you put on your body. I know when I was the reason I started working out a little bit and trying to get a little smaller, there was a time I was trying to go up the stairs at the Subway, and I'm breathing. I can hear myself breathing, and I'm like, dude, you got to do something, because I have a hard time breathing anyway. I had deviated septum. I don't get a lot of air sometimes when I'm doing things, and then my sinuses go at the beginning of the season. I can't breathe real well. But I heard myself like going, and I'm like, nah, you know what damage you're doing to your body? And if your body's letting you know, do something about it. That can't be.
Can't be George Floyding it over there.
Well, that can't be healthy, man. That's just to be that woman that large. And she's complaining about the Uber.
Oh, that okay. Now I know what you're talking
But
about.
when you look at her body, how can your arms get around to where
It
your
can't.
hand-
It can't.
That's what I'm saying. I know her ass ain't wiped properly. There's no way.
If she makes enough money, she can have someone wipe her ass. But it's still.
Dude, do you know all that? Even if I had that kind of money, in my mind, I'm like, yo, word, you can't even wipe your own ass, son.
No. And if you said, okay, I'm not trying to.
I don't want nobody else in my ass
I
with a
think she
brush.
could wipe that ass.
Dude, no way. And think about it. In an airplane bathroom, when you're sitting down.
Dude, you got to realize, look at her arms and how much fat's around her arms. She has
Look
to.
at those legs.
Dude, it looks like.
It's grotesque.
It looks like melting soft serve.
It looks like Yiddo meat.
But who's she standing in front of? Is that Fat Joe that she?
Yeah, no, that's Big Pun.
Big Pun. That's so funny that she put herself in front of Big Pun, though, to do the video.
Like, and the people in the comments was like, yo, y'all body shaming, but she's cute, though. I don't give a about your face when your body is like that.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to exist in a
Look
few
at them
years.
legs.
Like, with
Look at all
Ozempic?
that meat hanging off her leg.
But again, she goes online. There's people
That's
out there.
crazy.
But it's a fetish, and it's not a healthy. It's an unhealthy fetish for this person.
For the person, not the person that
I
likes
said
it.
no, but for her it is. I mean, that heart still has to do the same amount of work for that whole body. I'm really and I'm not saying this based on her. I'm saying this based on how I felt when I could feel myself working, I'm breathing hard. You put a lot of your whole system to when you get big. You put a lot of extra work on your system. It's not healthy. It's
And
an unhealthy
listen,
system.
I've always said this. Lizzo is cute. I think she's cute as hell.
She had a cute, but when she was
but the body, dude.
but when she was in that movie, what's the movie where she's
Oh, the stripper movie with Jennifer Lopez.
and she has those like door knocker titties,
They look like slingshots.
little, and then they're like,
Yeah, like just flapjack, like pancake batter that didn't even make a good circle.
I was like, it just the things I'd like. Sorry, as a man, the things that I like about women, her face is cute, guaranteed. But the things that I like about women weren't there.
Yeah, or they're there, but
They're not.
They're everywhere.
I'm not sure. This is not trying to be a dick. That's just not healthy. That's not healthy when your body reforms itself in a shape that it's not supposed to.
I
be.
told you, man. I did it once, and I when I the fat once, and I mean, the titties rolled over to where the nipples was straight on the sides. You know what I'm saying? Like if she put her arms down, the inside of her bicep could cover her nipple. I'm sorry, dude. I can't do that shit.
When was this?
A long time ago. I f***ed a fat broad once, and I knew it wasn't for me.
What were you like? Fucking just got to L.A. or something?
Nah, I actually did a comedy festival outside of San Pedro, and it was an outdoor festival, and she was mad cute, and I was a horny. So when I couldn't get what I wanted, I was measuring her up the whole time, like, can you do this? And I went, you know what? But then I'm telling you, man, she laid on her back, and I said this before, her chest meat, gravity rolled up, and it was like she had a turtleneck on made of skin. I couldn't.
And to this day,
I got the whole visual too.
I
That's
fucked Aries Spears.
Shit. And like I said, man, I know it. I'm a mess naked, but I'm a man, so I'm a still nut.
She's going nut too.
Nah, I don't know if she did, man.
she went home. She did it when she got home. Did you used to eat before back then, or did you never eat before you had sex?
Never ate. I just can't mix the two.
Okay, so like you get done, it's a big girl. It wasn't very good. And you look at her and you go, hungry?
Nah, she had to go, man. She had to go. But that's what any broad, man. If I don't like you or we're not together like you my girl, once I smash you gotta go.
Okay, but let's say it's a girl you like and you haven't ate, you smash. Do you go after you're done and you finally not everything's good, you feel good, but you realize you haven't ate all day. You look at your girl and go, hungry? You go out to eat then?
Yeah. Yeah. Or if she sleep, I eat.
You go eat.
Yeah.
I could just see you as a happy person. You and you get done and you look at her and you're like, yeah, hey, hungry?
Listen, dude, there have been moments where I brought food from the club back to the hotel with the broad I'm going to and I can't wait till she fall asleep so I can eat. But the whole time I'm my stomach growling like a mother. Mark, you want to read that email? Let this be the last one. And oddly enough, I'm sure, like you say, it's a fetish. I'm sure there are women that like really fat too. But the funny thing is, like, I've seen a lot of women, skinny like women, with dudes with bellies and fat. And I'm telling you, women, I've heard women say this too. Dudes with the muscles and it's all right. We like a man with a little bit of a belly. And if you got swag and sex appeal, women don't give a about that.
What if it was a really skinny girl though? Like I'm talking skinny, like anorexic skinny, but liked you, like thin. Would you rather have a big girl or an anorexic skinny girl? You have to. It's going to save the world.
Bring on the fat bitch.
Right?
Dude,
because there's something about
I don't like gazelle women.
Yeah,
Use her like a fleshlight.
When you
I don't want to see bones.
When you see a woman who there's no difference between her thigh, her calf, and her ankle. It's just the stick and heels. That turns me off. Oh, bony. Oh,
when
Your role play like she's in the Holocaust.
No, when you can see
Jesus, dude.
when you can see all this bones here.
Yeah, the collarbone.
Oh yeah, and then the
Oh,
ribs.
the chicken.
Oh.
Oh. Dude, how do you bro a doggy style who's bony when she bends over, it's like you sticking your dick in between two elbows. Fucking
You play
terrible.
the music that they do at the dog races. Have you ever gone to dog races?
No.
They play. There's a certain song they play. And then when the rabbit comes by, there's a rabbit that chases. Go, here comes the rabbit, rabbit, rabbit.
Oh man, yeah, nah. Oh, that's a
Because
conundrum.
those. Have you ever seen
Right.
those dogs? They're greyhounds. Yeah, they're skinny as like
with
that.
the rib cage.
Yeah. That's what I think about when I see that. Or the Holocaust victims, as Mark just brought up.
This one comes from Joe King. It was from the UK, I presume.
I get to listen.
You
now.
know, before you read that, I just wanted to give a big shout out to the dude who was able, and a sadness, and my heart goes out to all the people that died on the plane crash. But the dude who walked away from the plane crash.
But to India,
Yeah.
somebody walked away from that.
What? I'm not talking about he lived. I'm talking he got out of the plane and walked away from the plane crash.
Damn.
And people on the ground died. People on the plane died. He got out of a little hole. They say you only have so many seconds before you get out, before smoke and everything like that. So I guess he was in seat 11A. The plane cracked there he was by the emergency exit. And there was like a crack. You could see it. He got out. He was actually walking. They had to get him and put him in an ambulance. He was walking.
Dude, I saw the thing when they talked about the flight on the internet where they said there were several things that was wrong with that plane and things that didn't work on the plane.
The one that crashed? Did you
Yeah,
think?
yeah. And I'm sorry, but maybe unfairly, India has a bad rap. I have no desire to go to India, just alone from all the videos I see about the street vendors with the food and how unsanitary it is.
Have you ever seen the trains that people ride?
Yeah,
Show?
yeah.
The trains look dangerous. Why am I going to get on the plane?
I have no desire to go to India. And I've heard people go,
I would
yo,
go.
no, that's a stereotype. India's very nice. There's high-class restaurants.
I would go.
Really?
There's no place on the world that I don't really want. I wouldn't want to try to travel to, but I want to do it in a safest way possible. I don't want to do it. Listen, if I go to a place like like India, let's say, I don't want to do it. There's places I would go do it with a backpack and my sneakers. Right? India isn't one of those places. I want to go in safety first.
I could give a fuck about India.
You see that plane, though? The way it was, like, coming down and
The one that crashed.
it was, like, going up and just, like,
But it just sank down and it hit the building. But this one dude, and I feel bad. Even that's horrible. 200 and something people on board, and this one guy walks away.
So there was one survivor.
And he got up and he walked out of the plane. This is what's amazing about this whole thing. This is just he got up and walked out of the plane. My heart goes out to everybody that perished in that.
Well, on the way out, I wanted to smoke my cigarette, so I walked back to light it.
And he was a British citizen, I think.
Oh, so he was English.
He's Indian, but he lives in.
What if there was just a fat chick in the bathroom throwing off the weight distribution of the plane because she was trying to take a
What if you were that big though? This girl gets on the flight, and you know how the small planes with only two seats on each side, and they said we have to have you sit in the back of the plane in the middle.
Oh, Jesus.
Or you know what they would have to do? They would have to rearrange the luggage opposite of the side that they're sitting on. I'm not being an asshole right now. I'm being serious.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've been on planes where they talked about weight distribution.
Yeah. You can't move until after they take off because it's for the takeoff.
That's
All right, Joe King.
all right. Joe King.
Just joking. Or joking.
Joe
King.
and J-O.
King.
Joking.
All right, salutations, y'all. Anthony N., one of last week's emailers. Pleasure to make acquaintance, cousin.
Could you just do it just a little less gay? I'm not really understanding everything you're saying.
It mystifies the diarrhea out of me why Afro folks consistently shackle step they ass into SARS Vlad's peasant chair when Vlad consistently displays his true colors. With this recent drama surrounding Vlad, Minister Farrakhan, Lord Jamar, and Godfrey, Vlad has previously demanded that Afros apologize immediately for something that was said to his Jewish community, which an apology came. But for him to apologize to the Afro community was an half a decade struggle. And by the way, using crafty wordplay such as I'd like to apologize. It can be interpreted as a sarcastic, I'd like to apologize, but I'm not gonna, mother. So not only is this a you to the Afro community who built his enterprise, but it's also a you to all his so-called Afro friends. This is simple logic, but if you needed spoon-fed to you ABC 123 Jackson 5 style, then watch Lord Jamar's God Pod episode reacting to the apology. After Jamar's intricate analysis, the spineless hypocrite allows a cheap check to seduce the dog back to its own vomit. That goes to all the black integrity deficient imbeciles who shackle step they ask the Tsar Vlad for a cheap check. Can you imagine black kings of history such as Nelson Mandela going to sit at the table with the racist opposition just for a cheap check? This is the problem with Afro people today. They lack honor and dignity. Hoes easily pimped for coins to rain on them. Abundantly rich in division. Afros shan't ever thrive. We're almost done. Why don't Afros boycott Vlad like they do Target, huh? Although that's a little too late, as they already allowed it, Vlad to grow too great. Of all the other podcasts out there, Spears and Steinberg, In Godfrey We Trust, Comic Pierre's Panic Room, Art of Dialogue, Real Life Street Stars, Drink Champs, R&B Money Podcast, etc., etc. Why in the flaming ass ring do zebras opt for Vlad? I replaced the N-word with zebras. Jamar has chosen to rekindle his camaraderie with Vlad instead of Godfrey. People, do you see? Zebras are truly one-of-a-kind species that must be studied thoroughly. I can't take this no more. I'm out, y'all. P.S. Aries, Andy, and Mark, you need to be quick with the call-ins to your show. It will be electrifying. Is he talking about you?
No, Lord Jamar.
Okay.
Listen, after I saw the thing with Lord Jamar arguing with the dude about the earth being flat, I take Lord Jamar's not very bright. No, I just don't think he's very bright.
But
As far as him wanting to do the show, listen, again, I know people laugh at it, but I think that it's crazy that we've gotten to a point where getting paid 4 figures to sit down and do an interview is seen as a bad thing. He pays you.
yeah, but
And I don't see him as the culture vulture that y'all do. I don't.
But their problem is, the people that are commenting on the negative is, you're getting paid, but he's getting paid more, and you're perpetuating his kingdom while you're not worried about yours.
Who says I'm not worried about mine?
He's making more. There should be someone that's playing in the same kingdom that you want to play in, that you should be.
It's his show.
Yeah, but why isn't there a black dude that's having a show that's like?
That's not Vlad's fault.
That's not Vlad's fault. That's the point. That is the point, and that's what you just hit.
So Vlad ain't supposed to eat because other ain't trying?
And that's the question then. And then the other question is, are there people trying and they're not getting the same support? So it's also a support issue. You can't be mad at Vlad because he's done a good job and he's made this work for himself.
Right.
But what they're mad about is I don't, you know what? I don't know the apology thing. I don't really watch Vlad. I'm not a Vlad guy.
But they've been calling him that way before the Farrakhan situation.
Yeah, but what
Listen,
was the Farrakhan problem though?
I can't recall the true details, but listen.
You know, I don't agree with Farrakhan, but I actually can speak about him in a way that I don't ever think that anybody's been mad at.
There are certain sections of the black community that don't want to see white people win on any level.
Well, yeah,
and the fact that they're winning versus, the people that are angry at them are not. That's where that comes from. There's certain people, like I said, that don't want to give Eminem his flowers because he's white.
But is it because he's white, or is it? Let me just say this.
I know what you're saying.
Not because of Eminem being white, but is it because of white people in the past who wouldn't give black people their
both?
Okay.
There are some that just flat out hate him because that white boy. Man, that white boy. That's what it is, man.
He has skills, man, and
Yeah, that's undeniable.
He ain't even my favorite.
Undeniable.
He's not in my top 3.
I've never bought an Eminem album, but
I
I know
M&M's.
Right. but you'd be crazy to not recognize the ability.
You're right. It's just, but But there's things about Farrakhan I definitely disagree with. I definitely have problems with some of the things he says, but I don't have problems with some of the other things that he does and that I see that are positive. So this is what I don't understand. Everybody wants to throw away the whole person. It's not necessary, and you don't have to always just. It's not just about what you don't like. It's also about what you do like. There has to be.
Right.
If there's some things that you do like, you have to address those as well. I don't understand that completely. And and Farrakhan took the time to talk to me, and I thought I give him that because there's a lot of people that wouldn't have taken the time to talk to me. Right. So,
Well, that's it.
is that a show?
That's a show.
Let me see. Here's my new niece. Oh my God. She looks like a McCormick. All right. Here's some dates, man. I'm sorry. I got caught up a little bit for a second. Where are we? We're going to be in Vegas, but this will have already come out. So we're at Olsen Run Comedy Club. I said that yesterday's show. Olsen Comedy Club. Let me start over. See, this is the raw uncut you get on YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, dates. Olsen Run Comedy Club, June 26th through the 28th. We're going to be in Eugene, Oregon at Olsen Run Comedy Club. July 5th, we're going to be at Margaritaville Resort and Casino, one night only, in Bossier City, Louisiana. July 12th, we're going to be at the Fitzgerald Theater. That is in St. Paul, Minnesota. July 17th to the 20th. We're going to be at the Helium Comedy Club in Portland, Oregon. July 24th to the 26th, comedy at the Carlson in Rochester, New York. Hey, are you going to stay over after that? Or are you going to stay in New York? Or are you going to go back home? Yeah, because that's on the 20. It ends on the 26th, and then the 31st, July to August 3rd, we're going to be at the Stress Factory in New Brunswick, New Jersey. August 7th through the 9th, we're going to be at Mic Drop Comedy Club in San Diego, California. August 15th through the 17th, Bricktown Comedy Club in OKC, where we may already have a crown champion. Is it going to be, you'll know the answers before you hear this, but is it going to be the Pacers? Or is it going to be OKC? We don't know. It's 2-2 at the time of this podcast. August 22nd through the 24th, Tacoma Comedy Club in Tacoma, Washington. And August 28th to the 31st, Helium Comedy Club in St. Louis, Missouri. That's it, guys. That's the show. That's what we did.
Spears and Steinberg.
Thanks for listening to the Spears and Steinberg podcast. For more information on where to find us on the internet, visit SpearsburgPod.com.